Hello, writers. I am making this video just to talk about a few of the do's and don'ts when you actually send your book off to an agent or publisher. And I'm making this video because I have had 4 weeks of a lot of book submissions. So book submissions is when you send off your manuscript to an agent, which is what I am, or to publishers. So it's been quite an interesting process over this week because there's such a vast variety of manuscripts that I've received and vastly different levels of development. So the first tip I want to give you when you are submitting a book to an agent or publisher, make absolutely sure it is your best possible version of the book. So what I do find I get quite a few authors who send me something saying, I just want you to take a quick look. It's my draft. Tell me what you think. Give me your feedback. This is a bit of a mistake because when you're sending it off to somebody whose business is books, you really want to be putting your best foot forward. So the next thing you need to know is there is a very particular format for submission. This is not a casual email to a friend. You're not bashing off your manuscript with a quick email saying, this is what I've done, do you like it or not? It's a book submission is actually a formal process. Even though we may have worked together for a while, by the time you get to the point where you submit your book to me, I want you to follow the more professional route. And the more professional route is this. You start with a query letter. And a query letter is a very tightly constructed email in which you introduce yourself and your book. And when you introduce your book, it's what I'm looking for is what would be on the back cover of your book. What would make me want to pick up that book and read it? So your back cover blurb. So by virtue of that email, I must be excited enough about your book to look at what you've attached to that email. What should you have attached to the email? Firstly, your book proposal. The book proposal is the most critical document you will be writing other than your manuscript. So a book proposal is what you write if you're writing a non-fiction memoir. If you're writing a novel, we call it a synopsis. So there's many ways you can Google what is a synopsis or what is a book proposal. I will drop some links maybe in this live video because I've got some very tightly structured formats that I think work and some examples. But to really summarize it, all we want to know at this point, once you've engaged us by the email, and we think, okay, this is a little bit interesting. They know what genre they're writing. I can see there's a little bit of a story. This is a genre I work with. We want to open a document that can be 2 to 5 pages that really just lays out your book. It says, this is what the book's about, this is how it develops, and this is why I'm qualified to tell this story. Your book proposal is as you want it to be. There is no specific format for novels. For nonfiction, there is a very specific format, and I will drop that into the link below. But basically, we want to know, what is the book about? Who should read this book? What are they going to leave with? And why are you qualified to write this book? And are you an expert in the book? So we are really, and what is, and this is the last point, what is your marketing channel? Huge question in modern publishing. How does the publisher know that you are going to get involved and sell this book over and above their channels, which are the booksellers and events? How are you in a nonfiction going to get this book sold and sell more copies even possibly than the booksellers? So we're looking for your social media reach. We are looking for your possible speaking engagements. And really just how you're going to get out there in the world. And we're not looking for maybes. We're looking for absolutely fixed. I've got 10 talks coming up. I speak to 3,000 people a year. And these are the lists of the last 2 years that I've spoken to, or the events or the conferences. Not I would like to, not I made in the future. So interesting conversation I had recently with Pan Macmillan and children's authors, how critical getting involved in selling your book is with children's books. And the books that sell incredibly well are the ones where the author goes to the schools and does fantastic talks and engages the children about storytelling or the characters. And even the huge name authors, David Wallace's and those, they are going around international global tours selling their book, getting children excited. So we want to know that in a non-fiction book proposal. In a fiction book proposal, we're less interested in you selling your book because fiction doesn't work on your own network. Fiction works on the magic of your story. So we want to see a tight version of the magic of your story in the synopsis. So let me recap. We're looking at your query letter, your well-crafted, tight, professional email. Then we're looking at your synopsis or proposal attached to that document. And the third thing you will send to an agent or publisher when you are sending a query about your book. The last thing is you will attach your first 3 chapters of the book, only the first 3. So please don't send your entire manuscript ever to a publisher until they ask for it. So I'm going to make another video in which I explain, once you've sent that, what are the next few steps that can and cannot happen. But it really is upping your game, seeing this as a profession now. You've finished your first draft. You've done the very best you can. Now you have to shift gear. You're going from being an author into being a bit of a sales agent. And being a sales agent means you need your marketing material ready. You need a very good query letter. You need an incredibly well-worked, tight, and professional synopsis that presents your book in the best possible way. And you absolutely have to have 3 chapters that grab the agent publisher and say to them, this book's got a story. You want to read more, get hold of this author. All right, so I recorded this quickly live and I'm going to link a whole lot of people to it. So you can drop questions in the comments below. And we are actually running a mentorship, Kate, Emerson, and myself, for writers who are further down in the writing journey. So this is not a zero starting your book. We're running a mentorship, and it's a 10-week mentorship, and it starts on the 1st of October. And that's for writers who have written a first draft or who have a solid working manuscript, and they want to be in a part of a facilitated and mentored process to take this from that point to the point where you're submitting to 10 publishers by the end of this mentorship. So consider that, and you can watch this video just to get some tips on how to actually present your book professionally and what to do next. Hello, Sandra Byrne. And I'm going to log off, and I'm sure you will all watch this if you get a chance.